What is up, guys? Today we have the battle of the Wybots here. Why, oh why am I comparing these two Wybots here? We have the Wybot C1 right here, and then we have the Wybot S2 over here. Both very good cordless robotic pool cleaners, and they both do amazingly well in the pool. They'll clean the floors of your pool, they'll climb walls of your pool, and they'll scrub the water line in your pool. So, if they're very similar and they do well, which one of these two cleaners is right for you? Well, anyone can use these cleaners, but one performs better over the other based on what other features you need. So let's go ahead and talk about it here. What makes these two cleaners a great choice? Why would you pick the C1 over the S2? Well, first off, these two cleaners are new for the current year. The C1 is the base model, the S2 is the higher end model. So obviously the S2 will cost more. First off, in terms of pool size, if you have a normal size pool, you don't have a gigantic pool up to about 1,600 square feet, stick with the C1 here. This is designed to work in pools up to 1,600 square feet, and it does a really great job. However, if you have a bigger pool, if you got a more complicated design pool, the S2 is the better choice here. This can be used in double the size, yes, 3,200 square feet, so even larger pools. And it'll do better if you have a more complex shaped pool as well, because it lasts longer, more time to clean. So the S2 is better for even bigger pools. Now, in terms of physical weight here, both of these cleaners are what I'd consider very lightweight. The Wybot C1, 17.6 pounds, lightweight. The Wybot S2, 18.7 pounds, only about a pound heavier, but you get a few extra features. Really nice. They're both lightweight cleaners, so in terms of weight, very easy to lift in and out of the pool. Now, both of these cleaners are completely cordless, so they work off of a rechargeable battery. The Wybot C1 has a 4600 milliamp rechargeable battery. The Wybot S2 has a 7800 milliamp rechargeable battery. This means that in terms of charging time, they both take 3 hours to fully charge. Awesome, not long at all. And in terms of runtime, the Wybot C1, you'll get over 2.5 hours worth of use. Yes, anything over 2 hours, I'd say, is a very long time for a cordless cleaner. C1 gets 2.5 hours, but get this, the Wybot S2 gets over 3.5 hours. Yes, it's designed to work in bigger pools, so it lasts longer as well. So if you want a cleaner that lasts longer, the S2 is the way to go. Otherwise, if you have a normal size pool, the C1 is the way to go. Now, both of these cleaners here, the C1 and the S2, they work really well as simple plug-and-play type of cleaners, meaning to turn it on, all you do is push a button, select the mode, put it into the pool, let it clean, and then take it out and charge it and get it ready for next time. Rinse and repeat that every time you want to use it. Simple to use, plug-and-play type of cleaner. However, they do have online apps, and you're able to select extra modes, and you have access to a weekly schedule timer on that app. Anytime you want to use the weekly schedule timer, you must use the app, connect to it, and turn it on before placing this in the pool every single week. So keep that in mind. Must use the app for both of these here if you want to use the weekly timer. Otherwise, you can use it just as a standard plug-and-play cleaner. Super simple. Now, the major difference between the two of these cleaners here is the fact that the Wybot C1 has a fine filter. This one right here is a fine filter right here. And that works for about 90% of the pool. Filters out small, medium, large size debris, leaves, twigs, branches, rocks, even some sand and dirt. It'll filter it out just fine on the C1 here. However, the S2 right here, let me go ahead and open this up here and show you that it also has a fine filter, but take a look at this here. It has an ultra fine filter sponge. Yes, the Wybot S2 here is the only one out of the two of these cleaners here that has an ultra fine filter option. And this is very important for people that need an ultra fine filter option. If you get a lot of dirt, a lot of silt, a lot of cloudy and milky water, even some dead algae in your pool, you will need an ultra fine filter of some sort. And the S2 right here is the only one out of the two of these that has that option. So you have to pick the Wybot S2 in that case. So the major difference between these two cleaners here is probably the price tag here. The Wybot C1 is a great value pool cleaner. It comes in at only $400 and it does amazingly well in the pool. The Wybot S2 here is a little bit more expensive. Yes, double the price here. It is at $800 compared to the Wybot C1, double the price tag here. Is it worth it? In my opinion, no, it's not. What you're paying for here is an ultra fine filter in general to be able to use it in a pool with more finer debris. You're paying an extra $400 to use this compared to the C1 here. And all these companies do this. They force you to buy the higher end model just so that you get the ultra fine filter option. Now again, there are power specifications to an ultra fine filter, and this Wybot S2 does have more power than the C1 does, so it justifies the price in that sense. But compared to the Wybot C1, that $400 difference is definitely not worth paying double to get an S2 in my opinion. However, if you're comparing the Wybot S2 to the current market, not to the C1, but to the current market, if you're thinking that there are a ton of cleaners out there that are cordless, that have an ultra fine filter option, and that are under $1,000, you need to think again. There are only 2-3 cleaners on the market right now that I can think of that has those options. The Wybot S2 is one of those cleaners. The other cleaners discontinue, and the third cleaner is roughly about $100 more than the Wybot S2. So in that sense, yes, the Wybot S2 is worth the price tag in that sense. So I talked a lot about both of these cleaners here. Let's go ahead and place both of them into the pool, and I'll show you how well it works. Okay guys, so the C1 is on now, and I have it on both floors and walls, so it should be able to climb the floors and walls of the pool. Right here, you can see it going towards the edge of my wall right here, and it's able to actually climb all the way up my wall. This is a 5-foot tall wall right here. It'll climb all the way up to the water line and scrub it, so that's awesome. It really does climb walls. Alright guys, so take a look at the C1 right here. You see my main drain right there. Let's take a look at how it acts on the main drain. Goes over my main drain right there, and it looks like it's kind of stuck right there. So let's actually pay attention, see how it's able to get out, if it's able to. And you can see right now it's already turning, so it should be able to get out of that main drain. And right there, it did get out of the main drain. It got a little stuck on it. It turned around, but it's able to get out of the main drain. As long as it gets out of the main drain, I am happy. It's doing its job. And I do want to point out there's a front and back to this cleaner here. You can see it go towards the wall here, and that's the back of it. That's why I didn't climb up the wall. The front of it with the 2 front scrubbers, that's what will power it going up the wall to the water line. So there is a front and back to this. Alright guys, so take a look right here. The C1 is right down here. I'm 5 feet tall up here, and it's able to climb all the way up to my water line right here. Just pay attention right here. You can see the water line right there. The active water line scrubbing, pretty awesome. You can see it go over my main drain over here. Kind of hit it at an angle right there. Goes right over it, no issues. And that right there is my very steep tanning ledge right there. That's about 4 feet tall, and it'll be able to go all the way up my tanning ledge to the top right there, which is awesome. You can see it kind of hit the corner right there. That's why it's acting that way, but it's able to reach that tanning ledge. Just pay attention right here. Just like that. You see that? That's my tanning ledge right here, and I love it. This cleaner at this price is able to reach my tanning ledge. Not many cleaners are able to reach my tanning ledge, and it's also able to climb up my water line over here as well. You can see over here, I have the tanning ledge right here, all the way to the other side over here, and it's able to reach this section right here. Awesome. If you take a look at this C1 right here, it just climbed my very steep tanning ledge right here, all the way up to this corner right here. So that's awesome. That's actually pretty cool. Most cleaners won't make it to my very top shallow ledge right here. This is only about 6-7 inches worth of water, but it went all the way up, and now it should just sink itself back down. Okay, guys, so the S2 is on right now. It is on floor mode, and I do want to mention the ultrafine sponge filter is in there right now. So this is how it's moving along floor mode. And remember, the ultrafine filter, they recommend you only use on floor mode. And you see right there, it didn't climb up the walls. On floor mode, it will focus just on the floors of the pool. So keep that in mind. So let's watch this clean the floors here. So I have a main drain right there that the S2 is heading towards right there. So let's watch it go over the main drain. No issues at all. Awesome. And again, it's going to come up to this wall, but it won't climb up. Remember, it is on floor mode. See, it backs up. It only focuses on the floors of the pool. It'll hit the wall right there. And back down. Kind of stop and then turn itself. Go forward a little bit here. And then it'll stop again. And then turn itself again to the right. And then it'll back up against the wall. Remember, this is a pattern. This is how I know which direction it's going. Go back forward from the wall here and go straight here. And you can see it moving along that pattern, that kind of U-shaped pattern along the pool. That's what I have it set at right now. And it'll repeat this pattern along this wall all across the pool floor. Okay guys, so I have the S2 on wall mode right here, and you can see right here I have 5-foot tall walls, and the S2 will climb all the way up to the water line over here and scrub the water line. Awesome. Now it'll move along a pattern as it goes back down. I have this set to the N style pattern, so when it goes down it should move along the wall and climb up the wall next to it. You see how it's moving this direction? It'll turn kind of at an angle over here. Go forward a little bit. And then stop and then turn to the left again. And then climb up the wall over here. I have it on the N-like pattern setting. And you can set it into any style you like. I just like the N style pattern over here. And take a look at it again. It'll climb all the way up to the water line right over here. And scrub the water line. Awesome. Remember, this is wall mode. So in wall mode, it'll clean the walls and scrub the water line. Now it'll go back down and repeat the pattern all along this wall here onto my tanning ledge here. Alright guys, so the Wybot S2 is on wall mode, and it's transitioning from this 5-foot tall wall over to my tanning ledge over here. Very steep tanning ledge, about 4.5 feet tall. So I'm curious to see how it transitions in wall mode to my tanning ledge. And let me take a look right here. Looks like it's going to go over my tanning ledge. Yep, goes over my tanning ledge right there. And guess what? It also climbs up to my water line above the tanning ledge. Awesome. So you saw that transition basically from the wall at the bottom over here as it moved over to the tanning ledge on the opposite wall here. So that's great. Now it's going to go back down, back up off of the tanning ledge, and repeat the process all across my tanning ledge here. Now take note of it here. It's going to climb all the way up my water line, kind of hit my leveler right there. Now it's moving. You see that? It's adjusting itself to move along my water line. My leveler kind of interrupted it, but it's moving. You see this? It's moving along the water line of my pool here. I'll give you another shot of it when it repeats the process, but it was nice. It hit something in my pool, adjusted itself, and look at it. It's moving. You can see it kind of scrub down, move to the left, scrub down, move to the left. This is pretty cool. It focuses on the waterline so you get more coverage in a shorter amount of time. I've never seen a cleaner actually kind of turn itself with the wheels like that. That's pretty neat to see. Now, I'm actually going to move to the side over here and watch it move along this waterline. It moved probably about 5-6 feet right there. So it's going to repeat the process, and you can see at this angle how it moves along the waterline across this wall here. Watch. Now, the big moment right over here. Watch it climb up here. I'm gonna stay in this spot right where the cleaner is, and you can see how far it travels as it moves along the wall here in waterline mode. I'm right here. Here's my hand right at this spot right here. And look, it's turning its wheels, moving over, scrubbing, kind of back down. Now it's going to turn its wheels again. You see that? Pretty cool. And it's moving over. And right there, you see it pause. Now it's going to back down. And from here to over there, that's about 5.5, 6 feet right there. So you see all that coverage it did along this waterline. Pretty cool. So you guys can see that both the Wybot C1 and the Wybot S2 work really well in the pool. They'll both clean the floors of the pool, they'll both climb walls in the pool, and they both will scrub the waterline in the pool. So let me go and ask this again. Which one of these Wybots here is the right choice for you? Well, it pretty much comes down to this. If you're in a market for a cordless robotic pool cleaner, you've got two choices here. If you got a bigger pool, if you got a more complex style pool, if you need an ultra fine filter, you have to spend the extra money and get the Wybot S2. It works amazingly well, and it has that ultra fine filter at under 1K. Get the S2 here. Now, on the other hand, if you have a good sized pool, you don't need an ultra fine filter. Save yourself a couple $100. The Wybot C1 works perfectly well, does a really great job in the pool. Overall, both of these Wybots are definitely good choices. Definitely a pair of cleaners here I recommend.
We hope this review helps.